welcome to Smashterpieces, a casual walk through the history of the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate roster. My name is Joe.
And my name is Matt.
And if you're new here, what we are usually doing on this show is we're playing one game for every character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from 1984's to 2019's Fire Emblem 3 Houses. That's not what we're doing today, because it's the new year. Time continued to move forward.
Normally we record these before the new year, and this time we didn't.
Holidays got kind of busy.
Someone had to go visit family.
Yeah, it's almost like that's what the holidays are for. We wanted to get this recorded like shortly after I got back, and then I was sick.
And you're still sick.
Yeah, I'm still sick in a way, and as are you. It's really fun. Oh, the winter.
No, I just have asthma.
Oh, I'm sick,
That's just never gonna go away, you know?
I'm still slightly sick. But yeah, against all of our hopes and dreams, time has continued to move forward, and we have left the year of 2022 and entered the year of 2023. And as we have for the past 2 years, we're going to do another wrap-up episode about 2022 and what we did in 2022, because we did things, theoretically.
We did.
We didn't get a lot of games done this year, but mostly because, like, one of them was long as shit, which is the one we're still on.
We said it on literally the most recent thing released on this feed, but Fire Emblem is the longest game we've ever played. It is, by every metric, it should be taking pretty long.
Granted, I don't think it should have been taking this long, but I think this game is cursed, because this has had the most, like, delays to... I've had to put off streams for this game more than I feel like I've had to put off streams for literally any other game on the list. For various reasons, be they health related or, like, busyness related. So at least on my end, this game's fucking cursed.
It's been going alright for me.
Yeah?
Works fine for me.
Have you tried unplugging and plugging it back in?
Did you try turning it off and on again?
If you have a problem with your Lin...
I have a couple problems with my Lin.
Yeah, I have a couple problems with my Eliwood.
Oh, everyone does. Eliwood just is a problem.
I keep forgetting to put him in battles. Anyways, we didn't start on Fire Emblem, though. We actually started this year with the Super Mario Sunshine episode very early. And obviously we had started Sunshine in 2021, but we finished...
I started Sunshine in 2021.
Well,
I finished it.
You started and finished in one session, didn't you?
Yeah.
It took me like 3. And the episode came out on January 21st. That game sucks. And it is actively malicious towards anybody that wants to play it.
I wish it was better. You know, I really still feel some kind of way for it, and I'm just sad thinking about it. You know?
I mean, I enjoyed the streams at the very least. I think the streams were fun. It's just, you know, the act of having to play the game was not great for me. And that was the first time I'd ever played Super Mario Sunshine outside of, like, the hour I played of it when I was a kid. So, that was also an interesting experience.
Yeah, I've played a lot of that game. And I don't know what it was, but this, like, it's like finally this time it hit me. That, like, I've never believed it was like, oh, a perfect game with no problems, but I hit more problems this time than I ever have before.
It's a fun game. Speaking of weird games, that was the first time either of us had played it. We did a bonus episode right after that, the month after that, on February 18th, of Sin and Punishment. And I forgot that was this year, or last year.
So, I mean, Sin and Punishment is such a short game, it's easy to forget that, like, just how much it is or how little it is. Also, we recorded that episode way in advance, too. So we might have played that in 2021.
That might have been played in 2021, but the episode having come out in 2022 just completely slipped my mind.
Actually, I'm confident we did play it in 2021, because I wasn't at this house when I played it.
Ah, yeah, that would do it.
So yeah, we had that one in the chamber for a while.
Man, that game's fucking weird.
Yeah, I mean, I stand by. You should play Sin and Punishment. It's like an hour long.
And it's so fucking weird. It's so weird. I mean, I've played weirder games, obviously.
Sin and Punishment has a certain level of audacity to it, though, where it's just like, it's going so hard.
Well, I think it was, you described it as it feels like a sequel to a game that doesn't exist, because it feels like there's a game that you missed beforehand.
Yeah, it really feels like that.
But I'm glad I gave it a shot. I am glad I had the N64 controller, the NSO N64 controller to play it, because that control scheme sure is a thing that exists.
It's a game extremely made for that controller.
Boy, howdy is it. Probably the most made for that controller of any game I've ever fucking played.
And I've never had the opportunity to play it on that controller either.
Maybe next time we're in the same vicinity and I bring my N64 controller. Maybe.
Every time that controller is back in stock, I consider buying it. And then I remember, wait, I think it's a worse controller than every controller I currently own.
I think it's a rather nice controller. I mean, it's an N64 controller, so like that only goes so far, but...
Well, also, they didn't fix the biggest design flaw in the N64 controller, which has nothing to do with the shape of it, and everything to do with the fact that the analog stick grinds itself to dust as you use it.
Fuck yeah, it does. Yeah, it's called authenticity.
Like, I can believe that they didn't fix that, because I don't know if you can make it authentically feel like an N64 controller without it, but it, like, that's the one thing I would want out of a new N64 controller.
I value authenticity because my life is a museum, apparently.
I value the thing I pay $70 for actually works.
I don't value that.
And does not grind itself to dust.
I mean, I buy a lot of shit that grinds itself to dust. I buy manga I've already read, so I don't...
That's just retroactively paying for things that you stole.
I mean, yeah, you don't know that I didn't steal a Nintendo 64 when I was a child. You can't prove that I didn't. You can't prove that I did. If this is being played in a court of law, there's no evidence to say I did. There's also no evidence to say I didn't.
This, admitting it on a podcast would count as circumstantial evidence, I think.
Probably. Oh well. If I gotta get the death penalty for something, it might as well be that. I assume you'd get the death penalty for that. I don't actually. I've never read a law book.
You would specifically be convicted by Nintendo.
Oh god, then yeah, definitely. I played a game that they didn't re-release at one point. I like Nintendo games. They'll kill me.
They sure will.
I'm their least favorite kind of person. The person who wants to play their game.
It's a good thing it's surprisingly easy to hack your 3DS.
From there, in March 28th specifically, we did our episode on Metroid Prime, which was, again, my first time playing that game ever.
You thought it was pretty neat.
I thought it was pretty neat. I had problems with the map. I still think the map sucks.
It kind of does, but I'm also still, to this day, not certain how you could improve it.
Oh yeah, I have no idea how else you could do it. It just sucks. It just is not good to use, but I don't know how else they would use it.
The biggest takeaway that I had, which is something I think I forgot to talk about in the episode itself, is that for a long time I considered the best way to play that game to be on the trilogy disc with the Wii Remote nunchuck controls. And in my old age with carpal tunnel, I'm not sure I believe that anymore.
For me, it's not carpal tunnel. It's the fact that my setup is not... Oh man, the Wii era is gonna be a shit show when we get there, because my setup is not, like, ready for motion controls or even a place to put the sensor bar.
I just kind of got into the trouble where, like, having to physically hold up the remote the entire time, like, I'm old. I got carpal tunnel. It was physically painful. I'm not a young man anymore. I mean, I am, but I'm not even 30 yet.
Oh, yeah. Wonder how that feels. I don't think any of the Wii games we're playing have that issue in general.
I mean, we still got Prime 2 coming up, which part of me kind of wants to pull out the GameCube version for that.
I'll still be playing the trilogy version personally.
I honestly do kind of want to do like a bonus stream or something where you play with the GameCube controls. Although I absolutely, like, Prime 2 is a more difficult game, so I definitely would not recommend you do it for that game.
Maybe at some point.
Like, just a bonus stream, like, pull out the GameCube version of the original Metroid Prime.
Maybe at one point. I wouldn't be against it.
I think it'd be cool. And then at least play up to Flagra so you can hear how they fucked up the music.
And then in April, we did our April Fool's episode, and that was Resident Evil 4.
Timely, too, because they're making another one.
And it's coming out in, like 2 months?
I guess we can bonus episode that, just like we did Final Fantasy.
We actually legitimately can. Holy shit, we did it.
Yeah.
Content. We've made opportunities for content. I'm down with that. I plan on playing that remake.
First, we gotta record the bonus episode we've been saying we'll be recording for months.
Yeah.
What are you doing after we finish this episode?
Dying.
I mean, that's what I did the entire time we were playing Kingdom Hearts. So.
I'm gonna walk into the woods and I'm not gonna come back out.
But Resident Evil 4 holds up.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so interesting that they're remaking it.
Yeah, mostly. Kind of.
I don't think a remake is without value, especially because what they seem to be doing is just remaking the entire franchise in a way that just lets them make a different game out of 6.
I really hope that is exactly what they're doing.
Because I don't know if we've ever said this on air, but like they made a change to the story in Resident Evil 3 that like the story of Resident Evil 6 is now impossible. So like the hope is that they're good. Like they're remaking 4, then they'll remake 5, and then they're gonna announce a remake of 6 that's just a different game.
They'll remake 5 and it'll just be they release the same game, but they take out that stuff.
You know, that would be a good change.
That would be a very good change.
Because that's like when they announced the remake of 4, or when it leaked rather. I remember all of us were like, "Why would you remake Resident Evil 4? It doesn't need that."
And I mean, the actual answer was money.
Well, the actual answer, yeah, but like, you know what? 5 and 6 kind of do. And at that point, it becomes weird that 4 is the only one you didn't remake.
I want them to make it up to 7, and then, like, I want to know what they're going to do when they run out of Resident Evil games. Are they going to go for, like, the side games? Are they going to Code Veronica X? They'll
just do what Pokemon did and remake Gen 1 again.
To be fair, there's not a modern remake of Resident Evil 1 because they just HDified the GameCube remake.
They're gonna do it again.
Because people already consider that to be a near perfect game. It's not. It's good. I would not call it near perfect.
They're just gonna do it again.
And then they remake 2 again and 3. And they just go through the whole fucking series again. And we'll all buy it. Anyways, we did another bonus episode later that month on April 21st. We did a lot of bonus episodes in the time that we were playing Wind Waker.
It's a long game. And we for some reason, we didn't do check-in episodes.
Because what I worried about happening for Zelda is actually for me happening for Fire Emblem, being I don't feel like I have anything to talk about.
And for Zelda, we could have talked about individual dungeons.
Yeah, but then that would just be me saying, Medley's pretty cool, and then repeating that for like an hour and a half.
Even talking about the Wind Temple?
Yeah. Why would I want to talk about it? I don't even remember his name anymore. Why would I want to talk about him?
Yep.
I like how you're not telling me his name.
I'm not. I know his name, but I'm just giving you the rope to hang yourself here.
There you go. I don't remember his name.
Anyway, what was that bonus episode?
It was Metroid Dread Which, hey, that's a good fucking game.
That's a good fucking game.
I actually bought that for my cousin for Christmas, knowing damn well, like, he's probably never played a game like this. I asked him if he had ever heard of Metroid. He said no. I had to point out to him that Metroid is in Smash. Like Samus and Ridley. Specifically Samus, because obviously Ridley's not in Metroid Dread.
I mean, how old is your cousin?
Middle school age. He'll be fine.
So this is like the first new Metroid game to release in his lifetime.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, well, would he have been alive when Prime 3 came out? I think he was. He would have been very young, though.
I think Dread Mode also released. I can't remember if it was before or after we did this episode, but it was around that time.
It was after, because we did this episode pretty much right after I finished playing it on stream, because we did the streams, which those were some good-ass streams.
Yeah.
And then, if I remember correctly, you streamed Dread Mode, like...
No, I streamed Hard Mode.
Oh, you streamed Hard Mode shortly
Dread
after
Mode
that
didn't exist
out.
yet.
But yeah, I don't think Dread Mode was out by the time we recorded this episode at the very least. It might have been when we released it, but not when we recorded it.
I think we recorded this episode before we recorded the Prime episode, so...
Probably. Because I think we were ready for Prime to take longer than it did. And then, like, Prime still took a good chunk of time, but I don't think it took as much time as we thought it would.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did a third bonus episode.
Oops.
That was on June 10th. And that was Donkey Kong Country 2.
Yeah, I still haven't gone back and re-listened to the original Donkey Kong Country episode, so I don't remember if I liked Donkey Kong Country 1. But I feel like I liked it more than I did Donkey Kong Country 2. Because, man, I just did not dig Donkey Kong Country 2 at all.
If I remember correctly, the take that you had on Donkey Kong Country is that it did not age the best. And we both sort of agreed on that. Like, the final... like conclusion we seemed to come to was that without the cutting edge graphics, this game would not have gotten any attention. It would not be considered a classic.
Yeah, it's kind of got the Sonic problem, but worse, I think. Like, everyone complains about how, like, Sonic, you can't see where you're going, but I consider it to be worse in Donkey Kong Country, because Donkey Kong Country punishes your mistakes harder. Especially,
too, where the last levels of that game are bullshit. They are straight up bullshit.
They really are. Like, the fact that Donkey Kong Country on Super Nintendo does not have the same reputation that Sonic games do, that the negative reputation that 2D Sonic games have. Like, what the fuck?
Well, because nobody played far enough in 2 to get to the really hard levels, or they stopped at the hard levels.
Like, every negative thing I've ever heard about 2D Sonic applies to Donkey Kong Country in spades.
But eventually we'll probably do 3. I assume at some point we might as well finish the fucking trilogy before we hit Returns, I guess. I don't see why not. But that one is the black sheep of the trilogy. That's the one that people disagree on the most. So I'm going to find it really funny if somehow it's your favorite game in the trilogy.
I mean, it's not impossible.
I don't think it fixes any of the problems you have with the other 2 games.
No, but it's like Seren was telling me about me when I was playing Sonic Frontiers after we quit the stream, that people say that, like, the 4th island is, like, you know, like, even people that love the game say that's where it gets bad. And then I played the 4th island and I was like, no, that's the only good island, because it's the one that doesn't have all the bullshit I didn't like in the first 3.
Yeah, but the 4th island doesn't have Kiddy Kong in it, and that's one of the main reasons people don't like it.
Maybe Sonic Frontiers would have been a better game with Kiddy Kong.
I think there are a lot of games that could be improved with Kiddy Kong, but I think games would be more improved with his canonical cousin? Brother? Chunky. Chunky Kong should be in every video game. In this essay, I don't want to say I agree, but I would like to see that. I would also enjoy to see Chunky Kong inserted in every video game that has ever been made. Fucking Yakuza 0, I want to fight Chunky Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Goddamn Silent Hill 2, James Sunderland walks into a room and there's Chunky Kong.
Okay, that, like, both of those examples you gave are actually, like, great ideas.
Yeah, see? I want it!
Like, what would be scarier than just Chunky Kong walking into a room in Silent Hill?
Like, and still like, not even with an improved model, it's still the Donkey Kong 64 model. Like, the really polygonal Gorilla Man. Fuck, somebody make this happen, please? I will pay you. I won't pay you, but I'll say I will. Master Chief takes off his helmet. It's been fucking Chunky Kong this whole time! I'm printing gold here.
Even though we've absolutely seen Master Chief under his helmet.
Yeah.
People just don't want to believe it.
Now it's Chunky Kong. I fixed it. And then in July, we released the Wind Waker episode, which was, I think, the first episode since fucking Link to the Past Part 1 that has been released while we are physically in the same area.
Yeah, well, we didn't record it when we were together.
Yeah, we didn't record it together, but it was released.
That's not a very impressive bar that we just happened to press the button while we were on vacation.
How many episodes have we recorded in the same? I think only...
It's just Link to the Past Part 1.
Yeah, I think that's the only one we have done in, like, the same physical space.
We gotta finish a bonus game so that we can record it when we go on vacation this month.
Maybe. But yeah, Wind Waker, I still like it. It did, if I remember correctly, like, both of us did sort of come, you more so than me, sort of came away of like, this game's got some problems, and...
Yeah, I mean, I have now been on 2 podcasts talking about this game. You can check out what I had to say about it on Connectivity. Which, speaking of, the Twilight Princess episode of the Game Club's coming soon. So, guess I should play that video game.
You should play that so that you're ready to play it again in...
Yeah.
Like... Oh, that's still like a year and a half away. You're good.
Yeah, there's another Fire Emblem game before we play that.
And of course, from there, we started Fire Emblem. And that's still ongoing, so I don't think we're going to talk much about that. But we have put out one last bonus episode for the year, and that was on Paper Mario.
I like that game.
The game's a good game. I'm looking forward to playing its sequel probably this year, if I had to take a guess.
I think we can get to that. The only real obstacle in the way is Pokemon, but I don't see Pokemon really taking that long. Like, F-Zero is going to be, like, 3 or 4 weeks, maybe. Like, you say that's going to be a one-stream game, and I think that's wildly optimistic at how easy you're going to have at that... how easy a time you're going to have at that game. Very optimistic. Metroid, that's all on you. It's not going to take me very long. And, you know, Pokemon...
I'm good at Pokemon.
It's Pokemon.
I'll be able to make it through Pokemon pretty quick, honestly, though it is a Gen 3 game. And the games, the farther back you go, the slower they are in terms of movement. Though, granted, is Gen 3 when they introduced the running shoes? I think so.
Yes.
Thank God.
Okay, so here's the thing about the running shoes. Yes, they did introduce the running shoes, but they also made the walking speed slower so that they would feel like a bigger upgrade than they were.
See, that I did not know, but that makes sense, I guess.
If you like side by side, like Gen 1 and Gen 3 for walking speed, you walk a lot faster in Gen 1 than you do in later games.
Hell yeah, can't wait. I personally don't think Pokemon will take me. I am gonna give a generous estimate of 3 streams, personally.
Well, we might do the post-game stuff, just because...
Yeah, that, and I don't know how long that is, because neither of us have ever, we were talking about it, neither of us have ever done the Sevi Islands, like, ever.
Nope. I don't think I've ever finished Fire Red.
I haven't either. I have not either.
I'm starting to settle into the opinion that I just don't think I like Pokemon anymore. Like, I still like the brand a lot. Pokemon spin-offs, like, I still love those. I love the anime. I love Pokemon Snap. I love Puzzle League. I love the idea of Pokemon a lot. But, like, I've gone back and, like, tried playing older games that I remember liking in the past, and I have not liked any of them. I think I just don't like Pokemon.
Well, we're going to find out real quick when we hit Fire Red and Leaf Green. And we've kind of already started doing this now, but I was going to go over the games it is kind of possible that we will hit in 2023.
Yeah, let's talk about what we think about F-Zero GX for the third year in a row.
Yeah. I don't know if this is the third year in a row. I think it's the second, though. At the very least, minimum. Because I think we stopped, when we did the 2020 wrap-up, we were pretty sure at the end of 2021 we were going to hit Fire Emblem, and then we didn't do that.
No. We did this time, though.
We sure did. We did it. We didn't finish before the end of the year, but we did it. We got there. I am terrified of F-Zero GX. I only played it once, and I'm fucking bad at it.
It's a hard game. I've never rolled credits on that. I genuinely don't know how this is going to go. I
am mentally prepared for it to be the second time in the show's history where I say, yeah, I can't do this.
Yeah, this is a to quote Brian David Gilbert from his Halo video, like, in a way, challenging Mewtwo in Puzzle League was biting off more than we could chew, but, like, at least I had chewed that bite before. F-Zero is like, this one, I don't really have experience in this game, so I'm a little nervous.
I think it'll be fun at the very least.
I think it'll be very, oh yeah, make no mistake, this is going to be incredible. This game's incredible.
I just don't think I'm gonna cross the finish line on this one. But we'll see. That's probably about a month away from starting, probably a little bit more. If I had to
also,
guess.
We made our win conditions complete story mission 8. That's not the end of the story.
Rad.
I know you're not gonna finish 9.
Beautiful. Fuck yeah.
That was a choice we made.
We did just talk about Pokemon. I'm personally, man, like 5 years in, and we're finally playing the first real Pokemon game on the
yep.
list. Everything we've played up to this point has been spin-off stuff.
Someone told me an idea that they thought would be funny, where it's like we hit the halfway point of this game and then we trade our teams to each other. Have to play with each other's team for the rest of the game.
Fuck, that does sound kind of fun. Part of me does want to do that now.
So what I think we should do, actually, like, for serious, is we hit the halfway point of the game, and then we fight each other. And then when we finish the game, we fight each other again.
I'm down with that, because, I mean, the plan was always for us to at least fight each other once we both finish the game. But doing it halfway through, I think, is also a valuable comparison point at that point.
Yeah. Like, as soon as you have 4 badges, save, turn off the game, and that's the team that we fight with.
Okay, this is a deal. I will commit to this. I'm in.
All right.
Then we got Metroid Zero Mission. You've played it. I haven't.
I've intentionally never played hard mode in this game, specifically to have something new to do on stream. But I should note that I've gotten my time in this game down to under an hour.
Jesus Christ.
So.
Oh, that'll be fun then. I won't be under an hour. If I had to guess, what did Super Metroid take me? Like 3 streams?
I think after I beat the game on hard, I think I will then try to do a sub-hour run on stream. And then if I still need time, maybe do a randomizer.
I'm gonna generously give myself 3 streams on Zero Mission, but it could be 2. I know it's shorter than Super Metroid because it's a remake of the original game.
Yeah.
Which is shorter than Super Metroid.
Out of curiosity, what like, what do you know? I'm trying to ask a question without asking the question because I don't want to spoil something. What do you know about Zero Mission?
It's a remake of Metroid 1.
Okay. Do you know anything else about it?
That is the extent of my knowledge. It came out on the Game Boy Advance. That is the extent of my knowledge.
Okay. Then I'm gonna put this out here right now. I'm speaking to the viewers, not to you. No one spoil shit.
Okay. There you go. Anyways, now that my Twitter DMs will be full of spoilers for Metroid Zero Mission. After that, we get to Thousand Year Door, Paper Mario. A game where we both have a personal vendetta to fix, because neither of us have ever actually rolled credits on Thousand Year Door.
Yeah. To this day, I've never watched the ending on YouTube.
We've both made it to the Shadow Queen and quit.
The only thing I know is like, the punchline of what the treasure is, but I don't know anything else about the game's ending.
See, I don't even remember that. It's been a very long time since I played this game. But yeah, hopefully, maybe, this will be the time when we beat the game. That final boss is some horse shit, and that's going to be a hell of a stream, I think.
I think this is probably going to be the last game of the year.
Yeah, if I had to take a guess.
Let's go 3 more just in case.
Yeah.
Realistically, Thousand Year Door is going to be the game that we end the year on, but just for fun, let's go 3 more games.
Yeah, I agree. That was mostly my plan, but I think you are right. Thousand Year Door is probably going to end out 2023. It'll probably be like the latter half of 2023 all on its own, if I had to take a guess.
Probably.
But after that, we'd go into Metroid Prime 2, Echoes.
My hot take right now is that I kind of think Prime 2 is better than Prime 1.
We'll see if that continues.
Very unpopular opinion, to be honest, but...
From what I have heard, yes.
I do not think Prime 2 is a game without problems. I think it was a very bold choice for them to hear everyone complaining about how much the artifact hunt sucked at the end of Prime 1, and then for them to just bring it back with no changes.
Beautiful.
That was a bold choice.
Oh, can't wait. That sounds fun.
But, like, that's not a way you could say Prime 1's better. So, I would say that I consider Prime 2 to be the better game.
We will see how it shakes out for me. Star Fox Assault will also be in there after that, or is.
Have you played that one?
List. I've not played that one. In fact,
okay.
I think of all the games that are upcoming, I have played Pokemon and Paper Mario, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because remember, I missed most of the GameCube era because I didn't have one.
Star Fox Assault is an interesting game because it's the closest thing to, like, the Star Fox 64 sequel people actually wanted that we've ever gotten.
And from what I learned on Original Soundtrack, because Peter did bring it at one point, one of the first Nintendo games with an orchestrated soundtrack.
Yep.
What the fuck? That's still fucking wild to me. But I know very little about that game other than it has on-foot missions that people are not super cool on.
They could be a lot worse. They're not terrible.
Fair.
They're not great, but they're not terrible.
I'm actually kind of excited for that game because I genuinely don't know how it's going to go on my end. I don't know if I'm going to like it. I don't know if I'm not going to like it. I don't know. It's a mystery. And of course, the last one in this grouping of 10 that we have been working our way through is Path of Radiance, another Fire Emblem game.
And this was my first Fire Emblem. This one's good.
I've still never played it.
I think you're gonna like this one because it's an easy one. First of all, I mean it's a very part 1, part 2 with Radiant Dawn, which is part of why I'm so insistent that you have to play Radiant Dawn someday. But this combined with Radiant Dawn is my favorite story that the franchise has ever told. So
I'm interested in that. Because right now, we've talked about it on the episodes, Blazing Blade's narrative leaves some to be desired.
It's very basic. Path of Radiance also introduces a lot of mechanics to the franchise, too. Like, this was the first game with skills. Like, there's just a lot of things going on in that game, mechanically. I believe this is the first game where you could buy items on a menu instead of actually on the map. I can't say that for certain because I don't know if that's the case in Sacred Stones because I've never played Sacred Stones.
I don't think it is. I don't remember.
And then you get to learn about the fucked up mechanic that is biorhythm.
Yeah, I still don't know what that means. You and Alex have mentioned it a couple of times at this point, and I don't.
Would you like me to tell you? Because it's fucked up.
Oh God, no. I'll find out when we get there. Probably in the pre-show.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you wait till we get there, I don't think you're going to discover it naturally.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd save it for the pre-show.
Okay.
For when we're about to play it, in the Star Fox episode.
Okay.
But that's the grouping of 10. I mean, past that, that's essentially the end of the GameCube era. I mean, not counting Twilight Princess, which is this weird in-between GameCube Wii abomination thing.
I consider it a GameCube game, and the fact that the Wii U remaster is predominantly based on the GameCube version really speaks to that.
I think I played the GameCube version personally a long time ago.
That would be surprising. Very few people did.
I think I borrowed it from Ben. Yeah, that'll essentially end the GameCube era, and we'll be entering the Wii.
Yep,
that's weird.
With a brief stint on the PSP.
A very brief stint on the PSP, where
I really hope we get to that before Rebirth comes out.
Apparently, that remake that came out like at the very end of 2022 changes a bunch of shit about the game and makes it better. And part of me is like, so then do we play the PS? No, I'm playing the remake. Fuck you.
I mean, it is, what I've heard is that it is still fundamentally the same game. Just, it's not like Final Fantasy VII Remake where this is literally a different game.
Yeah.
It's just, what if Crisis Core was a little bit less fucked up?
So I am personally looking forward to that, and I do hope we get to it before Rebirth as well. I don't think that's gonna happen, cause I feel like, well, no, that's possible. I get. There's a lot of games between Thousand Year Door and Crisis Core, and if I had to guess, Rebirth at the earliest could be out in 2024.
I mean, I think Crisis Core is going to be a 2024 game for us.
It could be. We'll certainly find out. But I'm looking forward to that one. And that's pretty much the realistic window that we could possibly get through in 2023.
Yep.
Up to Path of Radiance. We won't make it to Path of Radiance. I think you are right in that we will make it to Thousand Year Door, and that will be as far as we go.
I think there's a 50-50 toss-up that we might start Metroid Prime 2.
Maybe. We'll at least start it. It won't be done before the end of the year, but we will have at least started it, maybe.
Yeah.
And that's essentially it. That was 2022, and looking forward a little bit in 2023. Fire Emblem's still going. We got one episode left of that. Looking forward.
I've got a head start.
You absolutely do. You're the only one that streamed the final part of the final stretch in 2022.
Alex was right. Cog of Destiny's a fucking slog.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm gonna give you a warning about this, because this isn't even funny to watch happening. There's gonna be you're gonna get, it's a big map, and as you get close to the boss, reinforcements are gonna spawn at the opposite end of the map where you started, and it's a route map, so you have to go kill them.
Fuck yeah.
And the best part is that the reinforcements do not spawn based on how many turns have passed. They spawn based on your proximity to the boss. So no matter what, you will be on the opposite end of the map from them.
Can't fucking wait. That sounds great. What a good thing to happen. But that's it. That's all I have really for looking back.
We had a big year on Twitch too.
Yeah, that's true. We streamed a bunch of bullshit over on Twitch.
Mario Party really took off. This has been the year of Mario Party. It technically started last year, but like this is the year where things really got going.
We didn't miss a month this year at all.
No.
And in 2021, like it started in November. So
yeah. So it's been going strong.
And it's been fun. And if you, first Friday of every month, if you like to watch people slowly lose their souls, we've been playing Kingdom Hearts games. Matt played 358 over 2. A bad
that game. Sucks.
A bad game.
That might have been the worst game I played this year.
We played some Sonic games. Or a Sonic game?
We played a few Sonic games and only finished one.
Yeah.
There have been, in the stretch between 358 and Birth by Sleep, we have attempted 3 Sonic games and none of them finished.
Yeah, one caused like motion sickness and couldn't even last a single stream.
Which I'm really sad about. That would have been so fun to stream.
I'm so disappointed about that. One of them we just quit because a new game came out, and then the new game, when we were streaming Frontiers, at a certain point I was like, man, I just don't want to do this anymore. I'm so fucking bored.
Which, like, I told this to you afterwards, if we had done one more stream, we would have reached the pinball section where I would have deleted the game on stream.
At the very least, I did at least get to see them trick Magni Desmond into thinking, oh, we just got to fight the boss, and then, you know what, we'll call it for the stream here. And he thought they had like maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes left in the whole stream, and then the pinball section started, and the chat exploded because they did not tell him.
That pinball shit sucked.
It looked
that was fucking
terrible.
Awful.
Like, it looked terrible.
It took me like an hour and a half. And then I talked to John Meriden about it, and he's like, yeah, I did it like first try.
Magni took, I think, 25 minutes.
I saw people online saying that they were stuck there for multiple days.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Do you have a favorite game that came out this year that you played?
I only played 10 games this year.
I played that times 6.
Like that's, I mean, Xenoblade 3 came out. Xenoblade 3 was really good. Fantastic, really. It had a couple of problems, mostly in the story department, where the ending just kind of sucks. But everything, like, if you just end the game two chapters earlier, then I really don't have many problems with it.
For me, I think right now my game of the year is Arceus. Pokemon Legends Arceus, because I think it's so weirdly different from like any other Pokemon game, and I just love the atmosphere to it, and I love the concept, and I really hope they make another one in a different region. Johto, come on, please, just fucking do it. It's built for it. It's right there.
Arceus was like the first time I've enjoyed a Pokemon game in a while. I think it had some problems.
Oh yeah, it's got like the boss fights in that game are fucking garbage. Like all of them across the board.
I think most of the quests kind of suck too. Like I actually don't think the world design in Arceus is very good. I just think that they built a really good framework for what this kind of game could be, and then didn't actually make the game. They just released the framework. And I really like that framework.
That's kind of why I hope they make another one in the same style, just like go to a different region.
Yeah.
And I mean, I liked Scarlet and Violet despite the fact that game's not fucking finished. Like, it's the best mainline Pokemon game they have made in years, and it's a shame that it's not done.
Yeah, I didn't even buy Scarlet and Violet because at this point it's like I don't like Pokemon anymore.
Well, we were talking about it, and like we were talking about your main issues with like Sword and Shield and Sun and Moon and all that, and I think the conclusion we came to was like, yeah, Scarlet and Violet probably isn't going to like change your mind on any of these.
Yeah, well, the big thing is that, like, around the time Scarlet and Violet came out, I grabbed, like, a couple older Pokemon games to kind of get my fix. And, like, these were games that I remembered liking when they came out. And just all of them felt, like, frustrating and boring. And it's just like, I guess I just don't like these anymore.
I think it'll probably help playing them on stream. Because then you at least...
I don't know, playing Pokemon Stadium 2 on stream was unbelievably frustrating.
Yeah, but that's Pokemon Stadium 2.
No, that's Pokemon fans in the chat were mad that I wasn't a Pokemon fan.
That's true. I forgot about that aspect.
That was... Oh, God. Legitimately, like, the most angry I've ever been streaming was people being upset that I didn't have all the type matchups memorized.
I don't have all... Well, I have all the type matchups memorized. It's just... This won't be a problem in Fire Red or Leaf Green for me, but, like... You get past, I think, Gen 4, and it's like, I don't remember what type these Pokemon are. I fought this Pokemon once, ever, and I don't remember what type combination it is. I don't remember if it even is a type combination. It could just be one type. I don't know. To a point where near the end of Scarlet and Violet, when I kept, like, running into not even new Pokemon, like stuff from Gen 5, and I'm like, I don't fucking know what I just fucking open Bulbapedia at that point because I don't know what type they are. It's a lot. It's a lot to remember.
It's nice of newer games to just tell you.
Yeah. I think Scarlet and Violet, and I think Sword and Shield did this too, but I think it strikes a good balance of the first time you fight that Pokemon, it will not tell you. Every time after that, it will always tell you.
Mm-hmm. That's not the worst.
I think that overall works fine. But yeah, I think Arceus is my overall game of the year. Scarlet and Violet would probably overtake it if it was finished. And didn't, like, feel like it was falling apart at every second that I was playing it. My favorite soundtrack of the year, though, Scarlet and Violet. That soundtrack fucking rules. It's really good. But, yeah.
Xenoblade 3 robbed.
It got number 3.
They handcrafted flutes.
Yeah, it got number 3.
And they, like, paid an artisan to hand paint those flutes, too. And then they never used those flutes in any public appearance.
Beautiful. It got number 3.
like the music department on Xenoblade 3 had, like, an unreasonably high budget.
Yeah, I was about to joke of, like, you know, maybe they're giving too much budget to the music department, but also don't stop doing that.
No.
Keep giving them that, but it's too high, but, like, actually make it higher, honestly.
That quote about if you handcraft the flute, you can make a sound that no one's ever heard before is like, all right, that's why this franchise has, like, the best soundtracks ever made. Like, even as much as I hate Xenoblade 2, that soundtrack, immaculate.
Anyways, I don't got anything else to say about 2022. It sure happened. It was a year.
Not so much, yeah.
A year in time, and now we shall experience another year in time. Anyways, folks, that's probably going to do it for this best 2022 look back. I almost said best of 2022. That's a different podcast. And yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. Sorry this is a little late, but, you know, real life gets in the way. It happens. It's just a thing. And with that, my name is Joe.
My name is Matt.
And we'll be back, hopefully soon, with the final episode of Fire Emblem.